Hello and welcome to the video for Tuesday, August 25th for web design. Hello,
Hi.
how you guys doing?
Good.
Hey Greg,
Hi Dylan,
how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Pretty good, thank you.
Hi Ariana,
Hello.
I like your drawing. Did you do that?
No, no, I got it from Bitmoji.
Oh, it's cool. Did you have a nice summer?
I did. Thank you. What about you?
Yeah, it's always too short though.
Yeah.
Hi Bernadette.
Hi.
And let's see. Okay, we've got some more people just came in. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take roll. Let's see. Web design. Okay, so web design 1. Let's take roll on that first. So that would be Bernadette, Stephanie, and Alex. And I don't see Alex, so I see the other two of you. And then we got to go back to web design 2. And then we have Grady, Heather, Ariana, Dylan, Trevor, Daniel. Who else we got? Sean is not here, and neither is Delikia. Okay. All right. Okay. So apparently there's a heat warning today, right? The heat warning is it's hot.
I feel like there should be one every day in the summer here.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's hot. Don't go out. Yeah. I think that should be I think the weather person should just scream at you at the top of their lungs, don't go outside. It's killing. The people are dying on the streets. Okay. Um all right. I'm glad we resolved that. Okay, let me see. Let me bring up the class website, eva.dreamco.com. All right, go to web design. All right. So, I'm going to share. Let's see, there's a chat here. Uh, yeah, just today, right? Exactly, every day. Okay, let's see. So what we want to do is share the screen, share my screen, and look at this thing right here. So, okay, so there's the hybrid schedule that we have to talk about and just finalize. And I think what I would like to do with that, just run this by you guys, is I think I would like to have it so that the beginning class, when we on the every other week we're going to meet online, and then the following week, half the class is going to come in one day, the other half is going to come in the other day. So what I was thinking was we could have the beginning class come in on a Tuesday, and then that whole Tuesday would be a class just for you guys. And then the advanced class could come in on a Thursday, and that whole class would just be an advanced class for you guys. You think that's going to work for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So I'll send out an email, and I'll send out the hybrid schedule with that. It'll look a little something like this. It'll have all the advanced students over here and the beginning students here. And then it'll also tell you what day we're going to start with that back and forth stuff. Okay, let's see. Now, so one of the questions that was asked last time was, can we break it up so that we have the beginning and advanced classes at different times, which, that's a response to that. And also, I think I'd like to do that in a virtual sense too. So what that would mean is, and I'll just check, make sure this is okay with you guys. We would do the same thing virtually that we're doing physically, which would mean Tuesdays, the whole class would be just for beginning students. And then Thursdays, the entire class would be just for advanced students. So that would mean if you're a beginning student, 1 week you come to class virtually on Tuesday, the next week you come physically. If you're an advanced student, 1 week you come to class Thursday virtually, and then the next week you come physically. Is that going to work out for you guys?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's good.
Okay. So I'll send you that that calendar and we'll all be good there. Okay. So so we talked about having you guys create some little mock-ups of home pages that you could start your process for designing websites. The in class is creating brand new websites, some of which some students haven't done it before, and then the advanced class has done it before, and they're creating websites that are going to be more sophisticated. Okay, so let me open my folder here, my email, so I can search for your folders. Okay, so I'm just going to start up here. Stephanie, you're at the top of my list. Is it okay if I show your website design? Oh, wait, you have a F in your name or something, right? Let's see. Is it Steph? Yeah, I think this is you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so, and remember, this is just a mock-up, so Stephanie was just putting some ideas together and a little color palette. You guys want to give us some feedback on this? So, Stephanie, can you tell us a little bit about what this page would be?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to make a web page where I display my work and, research projects that I've been working on, my publications, and then in the end, I put a tab for visuals where I thought, I can put some maps and even some animated stuff. And the page that you're seeing here, that would be the start page, which would be coming up under the, about link.
Okay.
And, I just wanted to describe here who I am, but I haven't formulated it yet, so I just copied in some text. I was basically just playing around with different colors. So I went to that website that you indicated, and I picked something that I liked, and I put it into PowerPoint so that I can grab the colors from there. And so then I thought on the right-hand side, I want to put some photos, and maybe like you see on some web pages where they cycle through photos every few seconds. So I thought, maybe in the end I'll have 4 or 5 photos. But this photo I just grabbed from the web, but it's very similar to the photos I have from the field.
Okay. So it looks like Trevor says he likes the color palette and the sense of order with your name to show focus as to this being about you, and the page options are great as well. So this picture would be like a carousel and pictures would cycle through, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then would this presumably be a introduction to you?
Yeah, it would just be like a short bio. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any suggestions? Is there any way you could think of that we could add interest to this page, or anything more you think might look good here?
Oh, sorry.
All right. One thing is that before I remembered that it was a built-in PowerPoint, I thought that it looks like a PowerPoint. I guess, kind of the conventions as far as, the spacing and all that, I guess a little more, typical of a PowerPoint presentation. So, one thing a lot of websites have is they'll have kind of, the, like the main information, like, pictures and text and stuff. Instead of like spread from edge to edge, there'll be like kind of a smaller container in the middle, like kind of like imagine holding like, a vertical sheet of paper in front of your computer screen. And then the other stuff is inside that container instead of, going clear to the edges of the screen. Also just, maybe experimenting with just, making the margin the same size on either side, like, where it's narrower towards the image, versus the side of the text, like making those margins equal, try adding, like little, adding white space here and there. So, experimenting with the spacing. So I guess, it feels, I guess, more open and more, more encouraging people to, explore it rather than just, look at it as, one flat image.
Yeah, those are all good suggestions. I think another. Let's see, Bernadette, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, well, it looks really good. I like the color palette you're going with. sorry, my dogs bring her dog to school day. So, okay, sorry about that. But I've never made a website before, so I feel like I can't give too much advice, but I would maybe suggest either making the background a little darker or maybe making it like that light blue color that you have like in the like most of your color palette, it looks like.
Yeah. Okay. Those are good suggestions. I have a suggestion. Let's see. So I told you guys about this Astra WordPress theme that I like. Um, and of course, Astra has all these templates. And when I look through their templates, some of them are focused on just like an individual. Like an individual who's either an artist or a writer or something like that. And so I wanted to find one of those so I could get some ideas. Oh yeah, okay. Well, like here's an example: Mercy Law, professional singer. And she has this background, which is a photograph, kind of screen back of her, which is a little bit interesting. Let's see. There's more of them in here. See if I can find another one. Let's see. I know that there's a writer one in here. So let's see. Painter. Where's the writer? Yoga instructor. About the firm. Okay. Well, here's another one. This one is, focused on this woman, Lucy Anderson, who happens to be a nutritionist. But you can see just, how interesting they make it by putting this picture back here that has sort of a screen back image behind it, and then a picture of the young woman, and then, some text and even an email sign-up form or whatever. And then, of course, she's into nutrition. So I think the screen back image there is probably just this bowl of whatever that is, granola or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of gruel. Yeah, so, well, let me search for one more, and then I'll give up on this. Well, Christy Dawson, they're focusing on people who are doing these very physical things. So, okay, here's another one. Go ahead.
Yeah, my response to that, I kind of purposefully didn't want to emphasize myself too much. I mean, if that's even possible while making a web page about myself, but I didn't want to put a big photo of myself or something.
Okay.
So, yeah, I wanted to focus more on content and just on the top write my name.
Okay, well, how about this? So instead of a picture of you, right?
Yeah.
You see this format right here?
Yeah.
There's a big picture that's screened back.
Yeah.
What if you used like a format like this, but what you showed was your picture, of that you currently have on your example. You know what I mean? Then you could have that picture back there, and you could have your name and everything, but it would be an example of your work, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to give you some different options there, things that you could use. Okay, so all right, I think those are some good examples. Let me see. Let me go back to here. Okay. I think that's some good input. And hopefully, Stephanie, you can use some of that when creating the next version of this, taking this to the next level. Okay. Nice. So let's see. Who else have we got here? Go to my list here. Well, let's see. Bernadette, you're next. You say you've never created a website, which I imagine would be a little bit of a disadvantage. But we all know you're a fantastic designer, so you'll come up to the task, right?
Oh, thank you.
All right, let's see. Open Sesame. Okay, web mockup. Okay, why don't you guys give us some feedback about this?
I like the logo and I like the colors a lot. The colors really go well together. It's not too in your face, but it's very calming and settling, I feel like, and it really goes with the idea and what the concept is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that logo is really nice, and this central part that has the colors is very designy and cool looking. Uh, this is almost too cool to be a church website. I'm just kidding. But what else? What other feedback do you guys have? Now we know that because I just said that we know it's a church website, and so that's kind of a fine. That's an interesting challenge to make a church website because, of course, you have to be very you have to be very aware of being sort of having good taste in everything that you do, but also trying to appeal to a modern aesthetic, right? Um, so, given that, anything about this that you guys would make suggestions about? Would you put a picture of the congregation? Would you put a picture of the pastor? Uh,
Um,
what do you think?
No, I think it's
Sure.
perfect as it is. Maybe a picture of the congregation on another page where it leads to, like, for example, outreach or something, or about us. But I think as a first page, it's great.
You love it.
Like a landing page, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
got a
gonna
really good placement, I think, on like the menu bar with the spacing there and like where it is. It feels like where it should on the website.
Okay.
It feels like all the stuff, all the pieces are well organized. They're about where they should be.
Yeah, there's a really nice sense of balance to it. One suggestion I might make to you is, if you pick what I call an accent color, like you're good about color palettes. Did you create a color palette for this, or did you? Okay. Um, in your color palette, if you include an accent color, which is the color that's really going to stick out, you might want to put that behind the donate button.
Yeah, for my color palette, I pick like a dark gray, kind of like what's on the first tabs at the top. And then I have like that little brownish gold color, and then I have like a light, almost minty green color. You can't really see the mint green right now because the color I picked kind of already has that. So I thought I don't really need that for my homepage, but that's kind of what I have. I don't really have like a bright accent color. I was more thinking of like this little stroke thing behind the letters. But yeah, I could see where that's more of a neutral, not as poppy.
Well, I mean, this light brown color would make this pop out a little more.
Okay, you know what? I did have it in that brown color, but I thought, so I changed it. But thank you for
Okay.
telling me that.
And I have a third suggestion, which is a lighter gray than this background would, you know,
Okay.
you might have to, if you go light gray with this, then you might have to make the word donate in black or something like that. But just so it stands out a little more, because I know I used to do a website for, God, what are they called? Beacon Group. You guys know Beacon Group?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they work with people who have mental challenges, like people with Down syndrome and things like that, and they help put them to work. And so their website, the donate button was really important. So whenever I would do that website, I always put it in orange or red with prominent placement, because they were like, yeah, we need that money, give us the button, right? Um, one other thing, well, two other things actually. You have this down here, like that would be in the footer of every page or something.
I don't know. I kind of saw like an example in like a little like graphic design book where they had like a sample website that had their logo like on the top like left-hand corner, and then they had it again at the bottom in the middle. I don't know. It's just a stylistic thing that I thought of trying. And then too, the example I was looking at, they had like a whole page,
Right.
and I was kind of limited in space here, so I could take that out.
Well, no, but that's exactly what I was going to say is like this would work if it was a tall page, but when it's a short page, then it just seems a little redundant, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you have the right idea of putting it at the bottom of a tall page, you know? And then the other thing I was going to say, and I don't know how they would feel about this at the church, but um, so their slogan is no, grow, go, right? And
Yeah.
what I was thinking was, wait, I got to use my little tools here. There's some special, oh no. Let's see. Oh, these aren't my tool. Well, I'm in Zoom. Okay, yeah, here, where are my tools? Hold on a second. Ah, here we go. Here's the tools. And then draw. Okay, let's see. So it says, let's see. Oh, cool. I can do this. Okay. So it says no, grow, go, right? So I was just wondering if you want to do something like, we hope that you can come and learn to know God. And then this could be in like italics.
I
Uh,
see.
grow in him and put like his word into, or maybe it wouldn't be his word, maybe it would be like action or something like that. But you know, that kind of corresponding these three words with what happens in the senses here. And once again, that would be, you know, based on approval by the church, but just kind of interesting. Um, okay, and I like your, you know, your social media and this contact us. You might want to put, that at the top because that's something that's normally on every navigation menu.
Yeah, I was thinking of that again. I was kind of not mimicking everything from that book that I was looking at, but I did notice that they did have it a little bit, just like the contact us at the very end.
Sure.
And again, it was a really long page, so maybe
Yeah,
that's why it's different.
and that's valid. That's valid. Let's see. Let me get off this stupid thing here. Okay, let's see what Trevor says here. For first website mockup, the header and footer bars are laid out great. The homepage image is a very nice touch. It gives the vibe of church. It's laid uh, it's laid it very nicely. Maybe a picture from events on a slide. Um, well, and that's a good idea. And I was kind of wondering about that too. Is I wonder if this thing could be a carousel.
Yeah, I was thinking of that because I've seen other churches, like some local ones, where they'll have like the beginning page, like say no, go and grow. And then I was thinking of making it slide over and have like the pastor speaking, but like behind like a gradient, kind of like a GIF. And then another slide coming in, like showing like members or I don't know, just some little GIFs.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Um, yeah, and I don't know, you probably know this information already, but have you talked to them about like who their clientele is? Like if they're, you know, what the demographic is?
Well, I mean, not to speak bad about my church because I love the people there, but they are a smaller church, so I'm trying to help them out to like bring in more younger people because they
Oh,
are generally older people that go there, and so I kind of want to help lift up the spirit, I guess, the vibe, to bring in more younger people. But I guess it's just everybody in general. So I don't know how older people would gravitate toward this.
well, that's important information because that means that you want to you want to do exactly what you just said, which is try to appeal and bring in the younger audience without like antagonizing the existing older base, right? You've probably seen this stuff before. Um, let's see. Wow,
Yeah, like that's a because like stuff like that is a little too flashy for
right.
my
That's too over the top. That's
yeah.
too over the top. But like I and it's not maybe it's not this cool church, but I see ads around Tucson. Maybe it's this bridge church. I don't know what it is, but I see ads on billboards around Tucson that are trying to appeal to a younger crowd, and they're like they call it the cool church or the bridge or something like that. And you know, a lot of it is just using photography that has younger people in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you might be able to, you might be able to use the same format and everything like that, but maybe, uh, I mean, if this no go grow go is up here, maybe it changes very quickly to a picture of a bunch of young people, or maybe, um, I don't know how I want to say this. Consider this. This is a really beautiful image you put right here, right? But consider this idea. What if you took this no grow go, you shrank it down, and you put it down on top of our mission, and then the top was just a picture of a bunch of young people outside a church, having a barbecue or whatever they do, singing songs, being happy, just a really inviting photograph that would pull us in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I love your design, it's beautiful, but if the purpose of this page is to try and pull people in, then maybe we need the picture of the young people having a good time to help pull them in. Anyway, it's all opinion, and you're a talented designer, and you can decide to do what you want to do.
Thank
Um,
you.
you could even, here's a compromise. I get to use my pencil again. Um, you could even do something like this. You could split this page in half, and over here it could say no, grow, go, and over here could be an awesome picture of the young people.
Yeah.
So, okay, anyway.
What's a picture of young and old people together? I mean, picture
Yeah.
of the people of all age groups together.
Yeah, there you
But
go.
where the young people look like they're having fun, not
Yeah.
like they're doing a duty.
Young people that are having a race where they're pushing old people in wheelchairs. No, I'm just
There
kidding.
you go.
Yeah, no, but that's great having a picture that's across the demographic, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to think of like just kind of doing that carousel. Is that what you're talking about? Like where it moves, like the pictures kind of slide in.
Yes, I'm talking about the carousel, but I was also making the point that I think when people first come to your page, they should see something photographic.
All right.
Okay. All right. Very good. Uh,
Thank
all right, Dylan, have you got something?
So far I only have a home page above the fold, but we can take a quick look at it.
Oh, why am I not seeing the right? Oh, 257. It was right in front of me.
Yeah, I mixed them up too. I was like, wait a second, I almost put it in the wrong folder.
All right. Did you put a 275 folder?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I saw. Okay.
So I kind of came up with a brand and then a tagline for the brand. I was thinking a kind of like young adult, older-esque, not really like a young teenage thing, but more of like something for the older folks, if you will.
So, how old are the older folks?
I was just thinking from like mid-20s and up, so not necessarily like Vans, where Vans partakes to teenagers, kids, and everything,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah. Okay. So, Old Soul. And so that says old right in the name, so it's not for teenagers, right?
Yeah.
Men's, women's, pets. You selling clothes for pets?
Yeah, I was gonna make like hoodies and t-shirts.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. And we can assume that these boxes would hold pictures of people and products kind of thing?
I was thinking like a gallery to show off the exclusive or featured items, and then below would be like the men's featured and then women's featured.
Okay. What's bonus?
Bonus, I was gonna put like so a lot of my favorite free companies have like free stuff. Well, it'd be like wallpapers for your phone or like little gadgets that you get in with your packages and whatnot. So like I'd fun little stuff, I'd say.
Okay. You guys have any feedback for Dylan about this?
I do like the color scheme. It does give me like that. It gives me a vintage feel, even though he doesn't really intend it to be vintage stuff, but it kind of goes with the theme of the old soul. So I like it so far.
Yeah, I agree. It's a nice color palette and it does have a vintage feel.
I like the typefaces, at least, the old school and feel the dread. With the ones in the nav bar, um, there's difficulty with that definitely because you want it to be a sans serif, so it's nice and legible and crisp. But currently, so the font, the font in the nav bar feels weaker than the other two. The other two, feel really match the theme and feel really strong. I really like them. The other ones just I guess they don't quite mesh or have personality, or they don't quite fit the vibe of the rest of it, I think.
Yeah, maybe you could do something like, well, for example, this is a serif font and this is sans serif, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a disconnect there, but maybe also this Feel the Dread. What if you took Feel the Dread and put it underneath old school? You could even use the same sort of serif font, so it becomes obvious it's a tagline. And then consider making these serif, or switch and make this all sans serif so it matches that. It's not completely unheard of to mix sans serif fonts and serif fonts. It happens, but you might be surprised at how it adds continuity to it.
Okay.
Um, Also, keep in mind that you would probably have to have a couple of links up here that most people would have, like shop, or even even smaller up here, contact us and about us. Things that pretty much everybody has right up there in their nav bar.
Gotcha.
Okay, but it looks really good.
Thank you.
Let's see. All right. Let's see. Next we have Bernadette. Ariana, did you read the page and do something?
I did, yeah. I made a mock-up in XD. I put in the drop folder. I don't know if you have the same version I do, because I know last semester there were issues with that. So if you can't pull it up, I can try to take screenshots of it really quick.
Oh, you mean the XD?
Right.
Well, I guess we'll find out, huh?
Yep.
I mean, I did upgrade, but you may have upgraded after I upgraded and blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Why is it not giving me a download option? Oh, there it is. Ah!
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it says update now. Maybe I can update now. Admin pat check for an OS prompt, following instructions. Okay, hold on a sec. You're really good about updating things. I update things about once a year. It might be a problem. I might have to address that. Conflicting updating. Conflict. Oh. Oh, I have to close. The XD has started to open. Okay. All right, just give me a second here. Continue. I don't think it'll take very long to update. We'll see right here. Yeah, it's going pretty quick. So we'll just come back to you, okay?
All right.
I'll download this, and then I can just save it. So it's called PFT, and then I can just open it once XD is done. Okay, so I'll go on to Daniel here, and then we'll come back to you after that's all updated. So Daniel, have you got something?
I got the WordPress themes. I got the idea just from the last class meeting that that was all of the after class I do, and then I checked the website this morning. I'm like, dang, I was supposed to also do mock with the homepage, and so I haven't had time for that yet, but I'm gonna find it. Yeah, so.
Okay, so this is so you've got the websites, and then you got the concept for the site.
Yeah, just discussion of content, and then I've got the themes listed.
Okay, so the concept is robopotter.com. Images need to be driving force quickly, immediately get user looking at gallery or designing their own piece. Simple and direct homepage. A website showing curated digital pottery randomly generated in colored solids of revolution in Blender via Python scripts, made to conform to appearances of real ceramics by program restraints and pre-made CGI textures. That explains the operation of the robotic potter and allows the user to submit his or her own design, profile to be revolved, and bitmap image to be applied to solid surface and receive the results via email. Wow. So is there really a site like this?
I mean, probably somewhere for that.
Yeah, okay. All right, and then let's see. Let me I want to download this so that I can zoom in on that bottom part a little more. Okay, so these are the three themes. So we have Barry or Bari, and
We've got three categories of themes, like three kinds of,
three
approaches
kinds.
to it. So like, the ones you're looking at right now are, looking at ones that are like, for photo galleries, for people's, photo portfolios. So a lot of those I feel like might be, a good approach for this, just because a lot of it is, will be showcasing, with the kind of the better stuff that, the computer has generated. So it might be better just, use one of those layouts that, get in a lot of images and, put the focus on them.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds good. It's interesting because you picked what you picked is three different ways to display photographs. Like this you might consider a more organic way because it's all these sort of circular shapes that are, even though they're stacked in columns, they just look a little more organic. Like they look like they're kind of thrown about the page, even though there's an order to them. This one is very much a grid, and this one is what we call mosaic, which is where different sizes fit next to each other like mosaic tiles. So it's interesting because you pick three different ways to display them. Also, this one is all about the photographs, and this one first has a big headline before the photographs, and then this one is also sort of all about the photographs, but in a black and white format. Given that this is a robotic pottery website, and that the images are need to be front and center, do you guys have an opinion about which one of these three formats you think would be good?
I really like the snaps one the most.
Mm-hmm.
Beckons me.
You like the grid presentation?
I
Yeah.
can't decide between the snaps and is it Blask? That third one?
Yeah, Blask.
I like them both. I kind of like the Blask one just because they're not all, completely aligned. They're
Okay.
kind of, I don't know how to like scattered, so it's not so uniform. I kind of like that. And I also like the snaps layout too. I don't know. I like them both for different
Okay.
reasons.
And we got another vote for the Blask because Trevor says he'd be curious to see the Blast one because he likes the mosaic feel for random generated pottery, and the shapes are more random, so it gives to the idea of the website, right? Well, nobody picked my choice, which is Barry. And what I was going to say for here was if you put the pots here with transparent backgrounds, then what it would show is the shape of a different pot. You know what I mean?
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, you could. I mean, well, really, there's no reason you couldn't have the same effect in these other ones too. And then this is some more information that he has about his site: small centered header and nav bar. So he likes the idea of.
Well, these are actually like even more options for.
Oh, more options. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Luckily, these three are all pretty much They're basically all the same format. But,
Okay.
different
Okay.
executions of it.
All right. And then we have this one is a tiled format. Okay. So you grabbed a bunch of themes that could all be used, right? Okay, cool. And you could even mix and match them. Like you could take this berry and you could put the little centered header up there, or even with this one, right? Okay. Well, this looks great. Man, I hope somebody makes this website. I think it'd be fun as heck to upload a graphic or a texture and see it made onto a RoboPot, and then you could order the pot and give it as a present, or make a vase and put it on your desk or something. That'd be cool. Okay, nice job, Daniel. It looks good. All right, so let's see. If I look for PFT in my downloads, PFT mockup. Let's see if XD has decided to update and be friendly and play nice. Okay, apparently it has. Okay, let's zoom in.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize my laptop was dying and I was plugging it in.
Oh no, it's okay.
So I don't know. Some of you who have been my classmates for a while know that I always like to do things with cats. Some crazy cat lady. So I essentially wanted to like spoof like the influencers, bloggers, and would turn my cat into an influencer slash blogger. So this is a blog, but it's from the point of view of my cat. I just always like to, I don't know, have fun with it, throw a little humor onto the projects I do, just because I feel like it motivates me more to
actually
get
do it.
it done. Yeah,
Like if you can
have,
enjoy it.
yeah, to have fun with it. So there's a homepage there. There's no color scheme. I haven't thought of a color scheme or a logo or really picked out any other photos other than the ones that are on here, but that's essentially what I'm aiming to do for this project.
Okay, well, it's a super fun idea, and the pictures and the headlines are just great. When I see this, I think that maybe it's the cat's, footprint or paw print, like a handprint. I wonder if you want to put something like um, the cat's name by the print.
Yeah, probably. I haven't really. I just kind of threw that on as a placeholder because I haven't really figured out like what the logo is going to look like.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a good idea.
All right. So before we go any further, okay, let me make one more thought, and then we'll ask you guys. Um, I I think that this right here is really cute. I wonder if I can edit this. I can. Um, Look how Greg's editing your document. Let's see. Uh, so this is just a thought I had. I mean, um, you already started on this by changing the word perfected with the PUR, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was just thinking if you put a few more R's in there, then it's like, kind of, it's like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, okay. All right. So we'll open it up for comments. What do you guys think?
I think it fits pretty good for the whole pet style with like the text and the type that you used. I think it fits in pretty good.
Okay. So that's all working for you?
Yeah.
Um, okay. And then, yeah, I guess I'm missing a little bit. You said you haven't talked about color yet. I guess
Yeah,
I'm
no.
I guess I'm missing a little bit of the color that might help
Mm-hmm.
differentiate these as buttons and might make the header stand out from the background a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks great. I'm clearly that's the next step that you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, Bernadette? What do you think?
Sorry about the talking in the background if you could hear anyone in my household, but it looks really nice. I actually like the very minimalistic white color palette, but like you said, maybe add like just one accent color for like the call to action, like donate or shop or whatever. That would just be my suggestion.
Yeah, she could even stick with a minimalist and go with like light gray to help, like this light gray to bring out, like, there could just be a sort of a rectangular button shape behind this that's that light gray color. I probably can't get to my let's see, bill here. Yeah, and then let's see, the whole bring to front thing. So this is obviously too big and grotesque and whatever, but it helps. It keeps a minimalist design and yet puts a little color in there, but which helps bring that out, right? Okay, let's look at some of these other pages. Man, the pictures are just great. Okay, so this is about the kitty, right? And then oh, these pictures are just great, man. Really fun.
I like those.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it looks great. It's a super fun site, and it looks like it'd be really fun to work on. So I think you're heading in a great direction with this thing. Any other comments from you guys? Trevor says, fun idea. The layout looks very clean. The only thing I would add is maybe some sort of color. I like the website name tagline, maybe using the color of your cat as the color palette. That's a very clever idea, right?
That is. I like that.
Yeah, and maybe, I mean, I don't know, are you going to base this on your real cat or just a fictional cat?
No, I'm basing it on my cat like I usually do.
What's your cat's name again?
Skittles.
Skittles.
Oh.
Well, Skittles, well, you have all those colors, right?
Yeah, she's on that about page. That's
That's
an actual
Skittles?
picture of her. Mhm.
Oh. Ah, she's adorable.
Aw.
Yeah, she has a great color scheme. That would work.
Okay, cool. All right. Great. Well, it looks really nice, Ariana. Okay, so let's see. We did you guys, we did Daniel. La 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 la. So, Trevor, have you got something? Yes. All right, let's see what that is, shall we? Mm. You and Dylan are always leaving room for pet fashion on your websites, right? Okay, so
It's an untapped market.
that's true. Okay, so I know from a previous class that Trevor is making a fashion site that, and he's got this funny tagline, which is, there's something called a fire sale. Well, this is the world is on fire sale, right? And say this is funny, 60% off with code LIT, right? Though Ariana says she could feature the pet fashions on her cat's blog, so a little crossover there. So it says, my website is based on a fictional clothing company I made up called Doom Crew, as you saw the ad from before. Okay. So any suggestions for Trevor?
It's very attention grabbing. I will say that with the flame, somebody walking in front of it, like on the homepage.
Is it a younger? I can't remember the answer to this, but is it a younger audience, Trevor?
I think it is because the promo code is lit.
Yeah, that would be my thought. If it's a younger audience, I wonder about these colors. I mean, it looks like he pulled these colors from the flames, or at least this golden color. But I wonder if the colors want to be a little more young and vibrant. Mostly younger, 18 to 35, he says. What do you guys think?
Well, the only thing that it doesn't jump to my eye right away is that this is about fashion.
Right. I mean, he really needs to put some pictures in there, don't you think, of fashion? Like shouldn't this be a picture of like a cat in a snappy outfit, and this should be a picture of a woman with, nice slacks, and this should be a picture of a man with a cool jacket or whatever. And then, I mean, it could say men's, pets, and women's underneath or above it, but it really needs to be the picture, don't you think?
Maybe like an icon like you'd see on like
Oh yeah.
not necessarily a road sign, but like similar style. Like you might one thing that would put you in mind of like some kind of caution sign or something. So like a
Ooh.
symbolic representation of a man, a woman, or like a dog or a cat. So it's like something that's been sprayed on with a stencil, kind of like warning, stay out of this area kind of feel.
Those are great ideas, Daniel, because they really tie in with the world is on fire. Yeah, so yeah, I like it too, Trevor. You could go to a site like Vecteezy and find caution signs and hazard signs, and uh, you could even hang that yellow tape police line do not cross down into this black section. You know what I mean? Uh, it's almost like you're cordoning off the clothes. You know what I mean, or the fashion. Like, this stuff is so hot it'll catch you on fire if you wear these clothes. Uh, Sorry about that. Anyway, it's a cool idea. So I'd say just move forward with. I like Daniel's ideas a lot. I think that's good. Okay. Any other comments on that? Okay. Let's see. So next we have Heather.
Yeah,
Heather.
I have an XD file.
All right. Well, I just updated my XD, so I'm good to go. Oops. I don't know what I did. I guess I tried to open it here in the browser. That didn't work out too well. Okay. Here we go. Well, what happened? Maybe it's open? No, that's the kitty. Uh, Try again. Maybe it's still downloading? No. Here we go.
Oh, cool. So I customized like all the art for like introduction because it's a Mocha's like contemporary art museum. I think it was like the first website I made a while ago, and I kind of wanted to redeem myself by remaking it. It was so awful the first time I made it.
Did you make the real website for them?
No,
Oh, you mean like one of the first websites you made was a sample Mocha set?
yes, it was like the first like project I had to do to make a website, and it was really bad. And I was like, I don't know if I should be in web design. And then eventually it got a lot better.
Okay, good. I'm glad you stuck around. Okay. So what do you guys think?
Like the vertical nav bar, it's a good way of like mixing things up, but where it's still people find it right away and it's practical, but it's different.
It is different, and contemporary. Since it's the Museum of Contemporary Art, it's probably a good idea to be different, right?
Like it.
So I was thinking of like the featured artists would be like flickering through like how you would have like featured photos flick through, but actual artists. So if you want to see more of their galleries, you would click on more or something like that.
Oh, I like that. So like there'd be this dude, and then another section would come in that would have the next person.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
okay, yeah, I like that. It looks really clean and artsy the way you would expect from a museum like this.
Yeah, really nice graphic design.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love this guy with the sort of, it looks like he's got a swoosh of paint over his face, and then the way you took this green and surrounded him, it looks really, really good.
I try to make it like really bright and colorful because when I went to Mocha's website, it was a little confusing about what I was looking at because they make really large featured pictures without like any breaks in between, and I feel like they should have broken it up because you don't really know what you're looking at.
Yeah, and it would be interesting. Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, it seems pretty clear to me that, this is all this one artist, and then, that I could click on here to see more about him. And then, especially if it changed to the next artist, it would be really clear to me what's going on. So Trevor says the art really pops out. It's very vibrant. This does help the art breathe a bit more. I agree, Trevor. That's very good. Now, is everything else on this page just things you were using to construct it with?
Yeah, I usually make my artboard around the actual image that's cropped out, so that's why it's usually messy. So that's where I got all my colors. I picked it from like whatever that color. Let me
This
see.
color palette,
Color Lovers. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I like Color Lovers. They rock. Um, cool. Yeah, that's a great little palette there. I like it a lot.
There's also Adobe Color you can use, and you can actually download the palettes to your library, and you can access your library throughout each app as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah. So I think it's located at color.adobe.com.
Yeah, they changed it from the last time.
Yeah, it used to be Cooler. It used to be
Yeah,
called.
and I had trouble finding it, and then I finally found it.
Yeah, I was looking for that too. So adobe.color, or no, I know what it is. It's color.
Color.adobe.com.
Right, exactly. Color.adobe.com.
I have it pulled up.
Yeah, and actually, I think this was made in direct response to Color Lovers, because they were like, "Hey, we got to get that part of that audience." But yeah, this is a great site. Um, I like it a lot, especially this interactive toy here, where you can mix color palettes, and then I like the fact that you can use different kinds of color palettes, like monochromatic and complementary. And of course, it brings up the colors down here, and then you can. It's cool because when you shift one, it'll shift the related ones. Um, you can mess everything up like I'm doing right here. But like Dylan said, there is a way. I don't usually do it. I'm like old school, so I just take a screenshot of this damn thing and then take it into Photoshop and start sampling the colors. But there is a way here. Maybe one of you guys. Oh, here it is. There's a giant.
So you have to sign in to save it.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So you go and you sign in with your Adobe account, and then it just saves it to your library. Okay. Perfect.
And then you can choose whatever library or stock, or you have a lot of options. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Very cool. Ooh, check this out. You can extract a theme. Wow. Extract a gradient. That's all really cool. All right. So very cool stuff. All right, going back to you, Heather, I think we like your design a lot, and it's looking great. So I would say just keep going in that direction.
Okay, cool.
Let's see, Alex, did you have a chance to do anything?
Yeah.
Okay. Alex. Homepage. Okay. So my friend and I own a small clothing brand, and this would be for a simple but experimental homepage with scrolling images that can be clicked. The navigation is on the corners with a spinning logo in the center or interactive logo that reacts to the mouse. Okay. And then this is sort of the map, right?
Yeah.
So we got a spinning logo here, scrolling images. These are links over here on the left, and then this is the spinning logo.
Yeah.
Oh. Cool. What did you make that in?
After Effects.
After Effects. Nice. Okay. All right, let's go back to this web page here. So that's the logo. What's the name of your company?
It's called Jeffrey, so it's like Jeffrey but with a D.
Okay. Um, so okay, so we've got the logo spinning in the middle. We've got, when you say scrolling images, do you mean that the images are going to be moving past us?
Yeah, they're just gonna be like infinitely scrolling, and you can use the mouse wheel if you'd like, but you can also click on the images and whatever whatever the image is, it'll give you more information.
Okay, so it's almost like you don't even need to go anywhere else but this page, right? Because, I mean, in a sense, you're sitting here and everything's coming to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, okay. And then what's this? Just another picture of like people wearing the clothes or
Yeah, that'll just be like whatever images we have, um, just from like photo shoots or product shots and whatnot.
okay. All right. Any thoughts from you guys about the layout here?
It'd be really interesting to see if it's executed.
Yeah, it would be cool to
Think
see
it's
it.
cool.
Yeah, you're right. Um, and so you're probably are you gonna turn that spinning logo into like an animated GIF, or is it just gonna be an embedded video right in the center there?
I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it, but I'll probably like I want it to be looped the whole time, so I'm not sure if I would want to embed in video or something else.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, you could certainly do it as an After Effects looped video. I don't know if After Effects exports as an animated GIF, but if it did, that would work as well. You know,
Yeah.
I can look into that. Okay, and then you know what might be good for you, and this is one of the things. Let's see. Trevor says it's a neat idea that I like to see done. If it's done well, it'll be a cool experience that will draw people in. Okay, awesome. All right. Yeah, one of the things that I'm suggesting for the beginning people this week. So, so for the advanced people, I asked you to pick a couple of WordPress themes that you might consider using for your site, and that was last week. And for the beginning people, I'm asking you to do the same thing this week. And so what you can do is you can go to this website, WordPress.org, and you can look into their themes section, and you can find like two or three themes that you think would be appropriate for your website. Now, for you, Alex, since you have such a specific design in mind, maybe you can find something that would support that design and it would sort of help your process a lot. Um,
Yeah, I knew that this was more what we're doing is more like a conventional approach. So I was thinking of switching to a different website project because I don't necessarily have to follow through with this one. It was just what I was thinking at the moment.
okay,
But I was yeah.
and that's fine. You can do that. Okay, and then let's see. So let's see. Let me do this. Let me tell you guys what I'm thinking of having you do for the next class. Um, and then I can actually give you guys a little time to work on this stuff, and then I can stay online and answer questions while you're working. Um, so let's see. We did this. We did this. I'll do this next week when I'm talking to just the beginning class. Okay, so for the beginning class, like I said, pick three themes from WordPress.org that you might like to use. And then I believe last week I asked you to look at the first 5 pages of an HTML tutorial, and now I'm asking you to look at the next 5. And we can talk about all that next Tuesday. Um, and then I am asking the beginning people also to start thinking about how you will build a full web page mockup, at least 5 pages, right? So in other words, after you get kind of a layout of your homepage, you're going to want to build 4 additional pages. So, you know, one of them would probably be a contact page, one of them would be about. Then you might have one that's like services or products, or whatever additional page you think is good. And we'll look at next week for the beginning class, we'll look at Adobe XD. We'll do a basic tutorial of that. so you guys can start using that if you like. For the advanced class, you know, I saw a homepage mock-up from you guys today, and it looks really good, all the stuff you're doing. Make sure and pick a couple of WordPress themes, if you haven't already, that could be used to support your website design. And then start working on, and I'm not saying finish these for Thursday, but just start working on the ideas for an additional 4 pages so that you could have, eventually have 5 mock-ups done, just like the beginning people of your website before we start building it, right? Okay, so that's what I would like you guys to work on right now, actually. And like I said, I'm going to stay online here. And as you have questions, or if you want my opinion about something, you can do that. And then I'll check in with all of you guys before the end of the class. Okay, sound good?
Greg,
Yeah.
for the WordPress themes, do you want us to send you like a screenshot or just send you the names or email them to you?
What you can do, you could do something similar to what Daniel did. You could, you know, if you want to, you could take screenshots of all 3 and throw them in your folder, or you could throw them all onto one Photoshop document in your folder.
Oh, sounds good.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm back to check to see if you guys have any questions, and also to look at some more student work. So I have a question from Stephanie here. She was asking, she was looking at the WordPress themes on WordPress.org, and she noticed that they have reviews. And she was wondering what the reviews were, and I said the ratings are by users. It's kind of like an Amazon product rating. They're rating a combination of how they look and how easy they are to use, how effective they are and simple to use. That's what produces the rating. And she said, so if a theme gets a low rating, it just means the user didn't like how it looked, or can I assume that this theme is difficult to work with? I don't know if there are differences in the ease of use. Well, let's see. I suppose my answer to that, I'm not the authority on this rating system, but I suppose my authority, or my answer to that would probably be that when a theme gets poor reviews, it's more than likely the way that the theme functions and not the way the theme looks. And the reason I say that is because, if somebody took the effort to review a theme, that means they probably liked the way it looked and they downloaded it, right? So that means they liked the way that it looked. But then they tried to work with it and they found it was difficult, or it broke, or they had some other problems with it. And so that's why they gave it a bad review. People don't normally just go in and review the themes without trying them out. So I don't think they would just be reviewing the way they look, although it's possible some sort of vindictive people could go and say, this theme sucks, and give it a 1, which, of course, we all know that there are trolls out there.
Okay, so that means they don't all work the same. Some of them might work better than others, or some of them might actually function better than others.
Yeah,
If it's a low rating, it means stay away from it. Even if I look at it and I think, oh, it looks good, but it only has a 1.
Yeah, stay away from the low rating ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have at least one more website mock-up to look at, which is by Grady. And so let's look at his. Okay, so he's got a XD file. So I'm going to share my screen. And then the XD should be opening up. I don't know, it didn't open up last time, so I don't know what the deal was with that, but I'll click on it now. Maybe it'll decide to open up. Yeah, I guess you have to manually click on it. Okay, so, and then I'm gonna bring up the chat box so we can see what Grady has to say about this. Let's see if Grady, if I can find him. Whoa, Okay, I think he may have popped out of the chat. Okay, well, anyway, let's just take a look at this because I can always send him the feedback. So he seems to be wanting to make a page called Software Box, my favorite software. And so basically, these are little sections where you would click in and look at 3D, game design, coding, media, gaming, all kinds of stuff like that. So any feedback you guys want to give him about the look of this site?
I would probably put some pictures pertaining to some of the stuff that he's talking about. Like, I like the whole galaxy type theme he's going for, but I would like to maybe see some stuff on graphic design, like actual picture of it or actual gaming pictures.
Okay, that's good. That's good input. Um, anything else?
I really like the color palette.
Yeah, the whole universe thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Trevor says overall the look of the site is nice, but are the Galaxy images placeholders? Maybe a fun font for software as well. Just make it lively. Okay. Yeah. So this site could be very utilitarian. You could leave all the fonts exactly the way they are, all of the graphics as placeholders, but of course that would do nothing from a learning how to do web design perspective. So I think that's good advice. Both of those, Bernadette and Dylan and Trevor. I think that, yeah, he could put interesting graphics in here that relate to the subject matter. I think he could definitely spice this font up and make this site more interesting, even for himself. Because he's going to be probably using it to get to his favorite software. Okay, and then he has also some themes. Uh, these are the themes that he likes. Here's the first one. BB10. Wow. that's about, that's about as minimal as you can get without having a completely black screen. Okay. That one has no ratings, but
Interesting.
yeah, it's interesting. Okay. And let's see what his next one is. Let's see, where did that text document go? God, did it open up in something? Let me find it again. Oh, here it is. Okay. It's under that. All right. So then here is the next idea. You guys think of that one for his site?
That could work. I mean, it seems like it's more for something else, but I could definitely see how you could use it for this application.
Yeah.
I think it'd be better if I saw it with the stuff on it.
Okay. Okay, and then we'll look at the third one just for grins. How much you want to bet it's in black and white?
Let's
And very minimalist.
chance.
Oh!
Okay.
Well, this is the one he's currently using.
Yeah.
Okay. I see now.
Yeah.
Huh.
The other two didn't have reviews, and this one has 5 out of 5 stars by 6 people. So, yeah, out of those 3, this might be the best one. What do you think?
I like that one the best.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'll pass that information on to him. And then, speaking of themes, Ariana was nice enough to send me her themes that she would like to consider for her cat site. And these are them. We'll look at all 3. Let's see. Oh, by the way, Trevor says the Ryan box is a better choice, much more approachable for a grid type layout to list favorite software. So he liked that one. Okay, so here is the first one from Ariana Olson for her cat site. Okay, it looks like it's in sort of a blog format. with a nice big picture at the top. Second one is this one here. Here, I'll just put them all next to each other so we can go back and forth. Spatial. Oh, look, there's a cat. We know why you picked that one. Okay. And then the third one, Rosalie. Okay, so I want to get your opinions here. Here's the three. Remember, we're doing for the cat site here. So this one is Rosalie. That's option number 1. Option number 2 is spatial. And option number 3, Olson. How do you vote?
I have a practical question. So
Yeah.
when I think back on the cat side, I think on the homepage there were like three boxes,
Right.
which each had something. So I don't know how much of these themes is customizable, but I was assuming that if the theme is like Rosalie with one big thing on top, could you still make this into the 3 boxes, or how much of the theme can be changed and what's fixed to the theme?
Well,
I haven't worked with this before, so.
yeah, it's a good question. Because you would think that the first thing she would do is go out and find a theme that had 3 boxes underneath, so she could.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, and I couldn't find mine either.
Yeah. So I think all 3 of these themes look very bloggy, and maybe that's the point. Maybe her cat is basically blogging. So maybe, I don't know, Ariana, maybe you can answer this. Maybe you're not attached to the 3 boxes?
No, not necessarily. They're just kind of placeholders there to kind of look like. I was looking at like BuzzFeed and something called Brit and Co. I was looking at different home pages of like lifestyle and blog type pages, and the minute you get there, you just see all these different articles popping out at you. So that's what I was trying to mimic.
Oh, okay. But then when you did some research about the actual site, you changed your aesthetic a little?
Yeah. I am hoping to have like, how all of these, when you click on them, they have like a main picture, see like that she waited for some time without hearing anything, like main pictures like that. I just have to find one that I like. I couldn't find any for the mock-up, but that's what I'm planning on doing, is having one main under the navigation links, and then from there listing different blog posts.
Okay, so all 3 of these are similar. I would say that all 3 of these are very similar. It's like splitting hairs a little bit. All 3 of them have, the centered sort of design logo thing, name, and then they all have the carousel on auto scroll, right? And then the difference is this one has 2 columns, and this one has 3. And this one is back to this one's a 3-column design as well, just smaller. This one is 3 columns that take up more of the width, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say our decision really has to be, if you'll forgive me for saying that the top part is very similar in all 3, I think our decision would have to be based on how this bottom part looks in all 3. Do we like this very sort of thin, bloggy look? Do we like it spread out on the whole page, or do we like it sort of medium size?
I kind of like it spread out. That's just me.
Because it fills up more of the browser and you get more bang for your buck?
Right.
Okay, Trevor says he likes Olson the most, followed by Spatial. So he likes this one, and then this is his number 2. They both give the modern blogger feel, which will aid your project greatly. I think Olson gets my vote because I think its header is the strongest to me personally. All right, let's see so that's Spatial. Yeah, well, he's got a point. I mean, mm-hmm. Olson does look, it does look very classy. you know, Spatial's more minimalist, but there's something else cool about Olson. It's got the it's got a menu bar right here,
Yeah.
whereas Spatial doesn't. You know,
Yeah.
I guess its menu bar would be at the top. So maybe, but I'm with you about. I like the wide format too. So uh, I think even though Trevor's right in that this is a nicer header, I
Yeah.
think I would vote with you on Spatial.
Yeah, I can't decide because like Olson and Rosalie, they both have like when you first get there, they're both very eye-catching, whereas Spatial doesn't have much to look at. But then I also like that Spatial has like the actual blog post section takes up more space, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good point. Um, well, actually, this is a great example. What you should probably do, you know, we'll get you the WordPress sites. You should probably download uh, all three, and then just put just go in, or let me refine that. Upload your top two, like Spatial and one of the other ones, like Spatial and Olson or something like that, and then put some content in and play around with it and see if you can see which one is easier for you to use to move it over to try and get what the other one has. Do you know what I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in other words, it's like, you know, say you went to a used car lot and they're like, well, we have these two beautiful cars, you know, and you drive them around the block and you're like, I like the way this one handles. It just feels good. And the other one, it doesn't feel as good. You know, it's easier to drive one. And so I would say, you know, everything else being relatively equal, you know, visually, try them both, see which one you think you can customize more to your needs, and then go with that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean though. Spatial is there's not enough of a pull at the
Right.
top
Yeah.
of this, where there easily is on this one. In fact, I'm going to change my vote. I get to change my vote. I get to change my vote. I'm going to vote for Rosalie. The reason is because I really like, look at this nav bar up here. It's got a nice nav bar.
Mhm.
Plus it has an above the nav bar thing that you could do. Then it's got this, and then it's got this, and then everything else. So I kind of like that. Lots of functionality. Okay. All right. Very nice. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the class. So if you guys would work on that stuff for Thursday, we'll take a look at any additional work you've done and give you some more feedback on that.
Hey, Greg,
Yeah.
I put up a document in my folder with the 3 themes as well, but we can always wait on that if need be.
Yeah. Let's wait on it because I don't want to shortchange you and not give you, you know, the full conversation we can have about this stuff.
Yeah,
So will you remind me on Thursday?
absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You guys are good to go. Thank you so much. Have a nice couple days.
Thank you.
All right.
Do we all come on Thursday now or just the advanced?
Well, listen, Thursday is another virtual class. Okay. And then on Thursday, I'll send you guys the calendar, and it's going to tell you, you know, what days you come virtually and what days you come in person. But this week, let's all come to both classes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.